In the last video, we established a new rule. Your event is not the product, your audience is. In this video, I'm going to show you how to monetize that audience through sponsorships, the single fastest way to make your event profitable before you ever sell a single ticket. And I'm also going to dismantle the biggest lie that holds most event producers back, this idea that your event is too small for sponsorship. That's wrong, because size is not always the asset, access is the asset. And apparently, can you see this guy right here? Apparently, I have a little bit of help today. This is Biggie, and he is my Shih Tzu, and according to him, my new YouTube marketing director. So he's watching everything I do today. So we'll come back to him later because he has some thoughts about sponsorships too. And honestly, his ideas are not all that bad. But first, I want you to get a number in your head. How much sponsorship revenue would make a meaningful difference for your next event? Is it $5,000? Is it $10,000? Is it $25,000? Maybe $50,000? Doesn't matter. Pick a real number. Not a polite number, not a number that you think you're allowed to say. A real number. Because once you know what you're trying to raise, you can stop vaguely looking for sponsors and start building an actual sponsorship strategy. Here's what usually happens. An event producer spends months planning an event. They secure the venue, they choose speakers, they work on the graphics, they build a registration page. Then about 3 weeks before the event, panic sets in. Suddenly they start sending emails to everybody they know. Would you be willing to support our event? And that one sentence is costing you thousands of dollars because that is the wrong thing to say. You're not asking a business to donate to your dream. You're inviting that business into a strategic partnership. That's a completely different posture. Businesses may not have a budget for helping you out, but they do have budgets for marketing. They have budgets for customer acquisition. They have budgets for lead generation. They have budgets for brand awareness. They have budgets for community engagement. Stop trying to make sponsors care about your event. It's not their job. Your job is to show them how your event can help them reach a business goal they already have. And that is the shift. You're not saying, will you give me money? You're asking, would you like direct access to a specific group of people that you're trying to reach? Now we're having a business conversation. I want to take a moment here to clear something up. You do not need 5,000 people in a convention center to attract a sponsor. Sometimes a room of 50 carefully selected people is more valuable than an audience of 5,000 random ones. I mean, think about it. A financial services company may not care that you have a large crowd. They may care that your room is filled with 50 women who own businesses, manage teams, control household spending, or make high-level purchasing decisions. A software company may not need thousands of impressions. They may want 30 qualified business owners who are actively looking for a solution like theirs. A luxury travel company may value a small room of women with disposable income, established networks, and a reason to celebrate a new season of life. The question isn't how many people are coming. The better question is who's in the room and why does it matter? And that is where your value lives. A strong sponsorship proposal needs 3 things, not 27 pages, not a complicated deck filled with event details that nobody asked you for. Only 3 things. The first part is your audience profile. This is where you show the sponsor the value of the people that you've gathered. Don't just simply write that we expect 30 women to attend. That tells me almost nothing as a sponsor. Instead, you should say something like, we're bringing together 30 accomplished women from finance, technology, healthcare, entrepreneurship, and professional services, many of whom are decision makers, business owners, community leaders, and high trust referral sources. Do you feel the difference? You're helping the sponsor see the room. You're helping them imagine what conversations they can have, and you're helping them recognize their next clients, customers, collaborators, or brand advocates. So go beyond basic demographics. Tell them what their audience cares about. What are they trying to solve? What are they investing in? What decisions are they making right now? Why do they trust you enough to enter this room? The sponsor is not only buying exposure, they're buying proximity, and proximity to the right people has value. The second part is what I call the activation menu. Please stop relying on gold, silver, and bronze sponsorship packages. There is nothing inherently wrong with those names, but they often encourage event organizers to stack random benefits into 3 columns and hope that somebody buys one. That's not a strategy. Think in terms of marketing activations. What could the sponsor meaningfully own, support, host, or contribute to? Maybe they sponsor the cocktail hour. Maybe they present a scholarship. Maybe they provide a resource that attendees will actually use. Maybe they participate in an educational conversation that aligns with their expertise. Now, one important note, the activation has to serve the audience too. Do not hand your sponsor a microphone and let them deliver a 17-minute commercial. Nobody wants to see that. The best sponsorship activations create value for all 3 parties: the sponsor, the event host, and the audience. That is what makes the partnership feel credible instead of intrusive. So the third part is the business case. This is where you make the opportunity easy to understand and easy to defend internally, because the person who likes your event may not be the person who approves the check. They may need to take your proposal to a marketing director, a regional manager, a founder, or a finance department. So help them make the case. You might say something like, partnering with this event gives your company direct visibility with 50 pre-qualified women who are actively investing in business growth, financial security, wellness, and lifestyle services. Or you might say, this activation gives your team an opportunity to build relationships with potential clients in a high-trust environment rather than relying on a traditional advertising campaign. The point is, be specific. The business case should answer 3 questions. Why this audience? Why this event? Why this partnership? So if a sponsor has to do the math to figure out the ROI, you've already lost the deal. Clarity helps deals move. The strongest partnerships are rarely built by blasting the same generic package to 100 companies. They're built through fit. You look at the sponsor, you understand what they're trying to accomplish, then you shape the opportunity around the shared goal. That does not mean you rebuild your entire event for every company. It means you stop treating sponsors like interchangeable logos. A bank may care about financial education and customer acquisition. A law firm may care about visibility and relationship building. A software company may care about product trials and qualified leads. A healthcare brand may care about community trust. A local luxury business may care about being associated with a specific type of customer. Same event, different business cases. That's why sponsorship is not begging. It's actually matchmaking. You have an audience, they have a goal, and the partnership is the bridge. Now, let's talk about the actual proposal. A polished PDF can still work, but I like what I call a living proposal. This is a clean, elegant web page that outlines the opportunity. You can build it in something like Lovable, which is a simple landing page platform, or another tool that you already know how to use. It doesn't need to be complicated. The benefit is that it's mobile friendly, it's easy to share, easy to update, and it feels more like an active business opportunity than an attachment that somebody downloads and forgets about later. Your living proposal might include things like a short event overview, a clear audience profile, the sponsor's potential business opportunity, maybe a few activation options, your event timeline, proof from previous events, partnerships, or audience engagement, and a direct next step. The format is not the most important part. The posture is. The message should be, we understand the value of this audience. We understand the value of your brand, and we see a credible reason for us to work together. Now, I want you to think beyond the obvious companies. I want you to think about who's already spending money to reach the people in your room. Is it a bank, a law firm, a healthcare provider, a software company, a real estate company, a travel brand, a local business that wants deeper visibility in the community? Don't start by asking, well, who sponsors events? Ask who wants access to this audience. That question is going to give you a much better list. And don't overlook the companies that you already have a relationship with, like your vendors, your professional network, businesses that already support your community, companies where former colleagues now work, organizations that have sponsored similar audiences. The point is, rooms beat algorithms every time, and a warm introduction from somebody who understands your event can be way more powerful than 50 cold emails. So let me ask you, who is your dream sponsor? Name the company. Maybe it's Canva, maybe it's Delta, maybe it's a national bank, maybe it's a local luxury brand, maybe it's a company that nobody else would think to approach, but you know the audience fit is perfect. Put the name in the comments. There's something powerful about getting specific, because I need sponsors is too vague. But I want to build a partnership with this company because our audience aligns with this business goal is a strategy. So name the company, then do the research. Find the right person, understand the company's priorities, and build a reason to have a conversation. If you remember only one thing from this video, I want it to be this. Sponsors do not simply invest in events. They invest in access, alignment, and audiences. So once you understand the value of the people that you've gathered, your posture changes. You stop minimizing the room. You stop apologizing for the size of the event. You stop asking companies to support you without explaining what's in it for them. And you start building partnerships. Every event is different. Your audience is different. Your revenue goal is different. Your relationships are different. Your offer to sponsor should reflect that. So if you need someone to look at your specific event, your audience, and your sponsorship strategy with you, you can find the link to work with me directly below in the description. We can look at who you should approach, what you should offer, how much you should ask for, and how to position the partnership. Because sometimes you don't need more information. You need somebody to help you structure the opportunity that's already in front of you. So before you go, I want you to do two things. First, please subscribe to this channel, because in the next video, we're going to be talking about how to make money during the event with vendor tables and other upsells. Because sponsorship revenue is only one piece of the event model. So you're going to need to really be here for this second part. Secondly, claim your number. Go to the comments and tell me, how much sponsorship revenue do you really want to make with your next event? Is it $5,000, $10,000? Maybe it's even $50,000. I don't care whether your event is for 10 people or 1,000 people. Put your number in the comments, claim it, then build a strategy to support it. And before we go, remember my new marketing director, Biggie? There he is. He is my Shih Tzu. And apparently he's been listening to this entire conversation. And that means that he now believes that he is qualified to negotiate brand deals. And after today's lesson, I'm starting to think he might have a point. I could probably find him a sponsor, right? You know, maybe a company that makes little bow ties. Would you like a little bow tie? Okay. And maybe a dog sweater, you know, maybe a haircut, you know, you could use a haircut. But, ooh, what about treats? Yeah, some gourmet dog treats. But based on how this guy eats, you know, that sponsorship budget is going to need to be a little bit substantial. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that Biggie wanted me to let you guys know before he so rudely left the room is that if you have not watched this first video here or this first video over here, this is the first video in the series, and I want you to go back and watch it, because everything that we discussed today starts there.